Hello. At the weekend I created this mini exotic garden with these wonderful Trachycarpus Fortunei, the Chinese windmill palm, one of the hardier palms. And so in this video I'm going to give you a whistle-stop, fast-forward guided tour of that whole process from start to finish, from design to planting to caring and maintenance of these wonderful exotic plants. I'll see you at the other side. It's always worth considering views from inside the house when you're designing a garden. This is the view from my kitchen window. These plants have been in pots for nearly 20 years and they've done fine, but you can see they are a little bit root bound. Here's Simba, my lovely little chihuahua. This is wind damage at the tips of the leaves. It's purely cosmetic and won't harm the plant. The trunks of the plants are made up of the old leaves, and you can see the old stems here. And this hemp-like material is the sheaths of the leaves as they emerge and open up, and that's left behind as it grows skywards. The leaves appear at the top as a spike which opens up. Tools for the job: measuring the diameter, counting the bricks to calculate the circumference, the diameter is the circumference divided by pi, which is 3.142. Here you can see I'm roughly marking the centre of the circle before I remove the bricks. Now I'm moving the plants out of the way. Of course these are quite heavy, so I needed some help. The handle of the fork is right over the centre of the circle. Attach a piece of string, measure the radius, make some loops in the string, one for the inner circle and one for the outer circle. Now use the marker spray to create two circles. And now you can see where the bricks will eventually end up. I'm cutting through the turf of the inner circle with a spade. Note that I've left the outer circle in place because that's going to be shallower to accommodate the bricks. I'm retaining these turfs for some hugelkultur raised beds which I'm going to create in these bulk bags. Now I'm measuring the rough depth of the planter. I don't want to bury these any deeper than they were originally planted. I'm using a long straight edge which goes from one side to the other to gauge the depth. Long handle spade is coming in really handy. Trachycarpus Fortunei like well-drained soil, and I'm lucky here because underneath the soil there's a bed of sand which really aids drainage. The sides of the hole are sloping because that helps me to backfill with soil when I've got the root ball into the hole. I'm going to dig all three holes first before I put the plants in, because if I put a plant in the first hole, it will be in my way when I start digging the second hole. I'm now levelling the bottom of each hole because the planters are square and flat and I want it to have good contact with the soil beneath. I'm trying to get the plants out of the planters without damaging the planters. It's proving hard work. Try as I might, I can't seem to succeed here. Of course Simba is finding it all very tiring. He's having a rest and watching on with amusement. Eventually, unfortunately, the planter broke. If you're going to keep Trachycarpus in planters, it's important that they're well drained, and that's why you can see me removing lots and lots of crocks here. Give the holes a good watering, then enrich with some pelleted chicken manure, bloodfish and bone. There's no need to overdo it. Follow the manufacturer's instructions, and I'm watering it in because it's such a breezy day. I was concerned about the bloodfish and bone blowing away. second one. Remove the crocks. Don't worry about root damage here because it will stimulate new growth. I'm giving these roots a good soaking before I plant it in the hole. Always save your crocks, they will always come in handy in the bottom of pots for drainage. Giving it a good soak whilst I retrieve more soil. Now it's time to remove the outer circle of turf, slightly shallower than before because the bricks are quite shallow and I want them to be at lawn level so that I can go around them with my lawnmower. Treading down the soil so that it's nice and compacted. Adding some sand, a good bed for the bricks. Now I replace the bricks, carefully pointing them towards the centre. Weed control membrane, gravel. This acts as a good mulch, helps to retain moisture in the soil and prevents weeds from coming up. The gravel looks quite attractive and it gives a kind of exotic Mediterranean feel. Smoothing it down into the edges before I remove the excess weed membrane with a soldering iron. Some lovely boulders which I found in the corner of the garden. Placing these around the root ball will really help to anchor the plants. Just scarifying here and tidying up the lawn, which has become quite compacted with all the traffic. Watering the plants and spraying off the dust. Giving them a very good watering in. Only one thing left to do now, and that's to fill in those cracks between the bricks with some golden gravel which was left over from the formal parterre I did 2 weeks ago. And hey presto, a brand new exotic border with Trachycarpus Fortunei. Hope you've enjoyed that. Please do like and share, subscribe to my channel, comment below because it's always nice to hear from you, and I'll see you soon for my next video. Thanks for watching.